And we love featuring artists you should know about. Today we're heading to North Carolina to chat with award-winning singer-songwriter Pam Ross. Pam was born in Pittsburgh, lived in Houston, chased the dream in Nashville. During the pandemic, she moved to North Carolina, began writing songs again. She recorded 10 of them and has been releasing one every 5 weeks leading up to the album When Therapy Fails. We're excited to have Pam Ross on the show. First, Pam, thanks so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me on, Jeff. I appreciate it.
Yeah, well, first, you had ankle surgery. How's the ankle doing right now?
It's coming along. About another week, and I go into a walking boot, which I can't wait for. I've been laid up for about a month, like literally, from bed to the couch is as much as I really get to do.
Yeah, for an active person, she's going stir crazy in the house right now. But you did a cool thing. If you go on her social media, you recorded acoustic songs and have been releasing them for the last couple of weeks. The Torn Tendons Really Suck acoustic series.
Yes. Well, I knew it was going to happen, and I had to cancel, a bunch of shows. There was nothing I could do. So I was like, well, what can I do to not completely disappear? So I thought, hey, I'll just record myself doing some of my songs and release one a week, and that's what I've been doing.
Yeah, so you can go and check them out. It's pretty awesome because I think there's actually a couple songs that you haven't released, have you? That you did acoustic?
That's correct.
Yeah, so you get a couple gems in there if you go and check them out. So
you get a preview of the upcoming album.
Yeah, and a preview of her new stuff. So definitely go and check them out. Your story's interesting, Pam. You moved to Nashville. You're an up-and-coming singer-songwriter. You meet the head of AR at Mercury Records. They offer you a record deal, but what happens a lot, it never happens. What happened then? What went wrong?
Well, if you listen to my music, they call me Americana, really. But my stuff is a mashup of rock, country, blues, pop. It's kind of everything thrown in there. And sometimes one song, like the one we're going to play later, it leans more country. Some lean more rock. Some lean more blues. It's a little bit of everything. And this was, a little while back. I was really young. And not that I'm old now, but I was, like a kid back then. And country was still a lot more traditional. We didn't have the rapping in country or anything like that yet. And so I really stood out. And, Gary Harrison, liked my stuff. And he said, we can change this up to make this fit in today's country. And I'm like, well, I'm not really interested in doing that. I want to keep it the way it is.
Yeah.
We can't do that. We can definitely, change up the bass line. You can do it. You can make anything sound the way you want it to. And I wasn't interested in changing the way I sounded and the way I looked. And it just didn't, I didn't think it would be real. It wouldn't be authentic. And I didn't know if I'd be happy. I didn't even know if I'd be able to pull it off. And people eventually realize when you're not true to yourself. It's not really you. And it probably took me about 5 seconds to say no, but it felt to me like I sat there for an hour, and I walked away going, God, did I do the right thing? And I've thought about it a lot, over the couple years since then, but, it is what it is. And I guess in the long run, I made the right decision.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Well, hey, happiness is a big part of life. So you moved to Houston. You earned several degrees from the University of Houston downtown. What did you major in? What did you get degrees in?
Yeah, I lived in Houston most of my life. I got a bachelor's in criminal justice. I've got a master's in security management for executives, like corporate security, and I have a master's in healthcare administration.
Wow. So what do you do now for your day job?
I play music.
Really? So you're a full-time musician?
It all comes full circle, I'm telling you what.
Wow, unbelievable. That's crazy.
That's what I'm happiest doing, really. It's everything else was just kind of filling time
or seeing which way you were going to go with life.
Yeah.
Man. So COVID hits. I mean, you're going crazy like everyone else. So when did we pick back up the guitar? Were songs laying around? Were you thinking about it? What?
It was just this epiphany. I had gotten my COVID shot, and I didn't get sick, but I really didn't have any energy.
Yeah.
And so I couldn't go running or working out, and the AC had gone out in my truck, so it was getting fixed. So I couldn't go anywhere. Not that there's really anywhere you could go at that time. So I'm just kind of stuck in the house with myself, with nothing to do, nowhere to go. And I'm like, I don't know. I just kind of came to the epiphany that I didn't like being with myself.
Yeah.
And I was like, what's missing? There's something wrong here. And it was just like this big voice went off in my head that, I miss playing music. That's what I'm supposed to be doing. And literally at that moment, I just got up and I started playing again. And I got in the computer and I started looking at how the music business had changed over the past, 8-10 years. And it all started right then and there.
Yeah, it's a good thing. So you didn't go crazy sitting there at home twiddling your thumbs like the rest of us. But yeah, so how did you meet Michael at MTS Group Management and Records? Did you reach out to him? How did that work?
Yes, I had just released When Therapy Fails, and I was doing it one song at a time. So I had just released my third song.
Okay.
And I'm getting like, 1,200, 1,500 streams per song, and I'm like, okay, this isn't good. I've got to do something. And I knew I needed a label to help me. I knew one of the big dogs. I'm not just going to go back and knock on the door of Mercury Records and go, hi, I'm back,
yeah,
remember me. That's not going to happen. So I knew that I needed a smaller label. And they were the ones that you could approach. So I simply went online and I started looking up how do you get your stuff to indie labels. And I found a thing called Drop Track. And you can sign up and you download some of your music. And they have listings of indie labels and what kind of music that they represent. So I was looking up Americana, slash country, rock, whatever. And there were a couple that I sent my music to. And he was the first one to get back with me. And out of all the ones that got back with me, I really liked MTS the best. They just seemed to be the most solid. And I think it was my song Fire in the Hole that he heard, that he liked. I think that and No One Around. And, so after I just vetted him out a little bit, I signed up with them. And that was, April will be a year ago.
Wow. Well, we're chatting with Pam Ross. Go check her out. It's PamRossMusic.com. It's Pam Ross Music. She's on Facebook, Instagram. Go to YouTube. She's got a couple of videos on there. Her latest single, In Your Smile, which you're going to hear, is out now. So the 10 songs you record at Good Luck Studio in Chapel Hill, how much of them were old? Or how many did you write that were new?
Actually, we ended up releasing 9. There's one that I didn't like how it turned out, so I held it back. But, I'd have to really look at the list and see. I think most of them were new. There were a couple that I had out for a while. I'm trying to think. No One Around, which is up for a Song of the Year in the International Red Carpet Awards. That was new. That one was older. Fire in the Hole technically was older, but I rewrote half of it. Yeah. And the same with Two Shots of Tequila. I rewrote, I'd say, about 80% of that song. And I think the rest of them were new. So the ones that were older, I did do a lot of rewriting on.
Yeah. Okay. Well, and you mentioned awards. The 2023 Musician of the Year at the Who's Who Indie Country Awards. Could you believe that?
Nope. I still don't.
Because I know those guys, the Night Owl Country Band out of Indiana. And, you're in North Carolina. It's just crazy when you're an indie artist how people find you or where your music ends up.
Yes, it is. You are absolutely correct.
You just never know who's listening out there. It's a small world in indie music, that's for sure. And on the new songs, What do you're playing the guitar and you can play the piano, right, Pam?
Yes, I always wanted to learn to play piano, and right before I started recording when Therapy Fails, I injured my thumb on my left hand, and I had reconstructive thumb surgery, and I couldn't play guitar. But I thought, you know what? I could learn how to play keyboards now. And so, literally, while I was waiting to go back to surgery, I went online and I ordered a keyboard. And I started one-handed, and then whenever I got the cast off and everything, I used the keyboard as almost like physical therapy to start going up and down the keyboards. And that's how I learned it. So I was putting the parts together and learning how to play when I was doing those songs.
Wow, that's probably a good thing, helping out your thumb. One song when I was listening to everything last night, Cornflakes and Beer. Tell us the history of this song, Pam.
I wrote that one. That was in Nashville. So that was an older one, too. And I was just sitting around. I don't know. Somehow I just started tapping on the guitar. Because I'm not really so much, I'm not strumming a normal pattern. I don't use a pick on that at all. It's just a cross between finger picking and slapping the guitar strings. And, yes, I did have cornflakes and beer, but to my defense, it was around 11 a.m. in the morning. So that's technically brunch. And so that's a pass.
And she didn't put beer in her cornflakes. It was two separate things.
It was on the side.
Yeah.
It was on the side, yeah. But if you want to try it on there, go ahead and let me know how that is.
Yeah, see how it is. I haven't tried that either. We might have to. You got a couple music videos. Do you enjoy making music videos?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Not no one around. Fire in the Hole. Yeah, that one's won a couple awards. That was a really good time. And I'm going to let the cat out of the bag. Yeah, it was decaf iced tea that we were tossing back. Trust me, we couldn't have made it past 20 minutes in that video if that would have been whiskey. I'm telling you. I never drank so much decaf iced tea in my life.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Because it's shot after shot, each shoot that you take, you really do a couple times. So, yeah, that was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun doing that.
Yeah. So there you go. You get the inside scoop. She's not pounding whiskey shots. It's actually
I think we had one when it was all done. But, yeah, we all just celebrated with one. But, yeah, it was a really good time. And I'm just trying to figure out what videos I'm going to do for my next album.
Yeah. Well, we're going to chat about that here in a second. Go check her out, Pam Ross. She's at PamRossMusic.com. She's at Pam Ross Music. Go search for her on Facebook, Instagram. Her latest single, In Your Smile, is out now. There's a picture of you laid up right now because of your foot. Your black cat, Spook. How big is this cat?
Oh, Spookers. He's thin, but he's really long. I'd say he's an average sized cat, really. He's a big fur ball. He's got a lot of fur. So he kind of looks bigger in the picture than he is. But he's really long. More than wide.
He's a lover. He's hanging
boy.
out with you. Yeah.
Oh, he is. He's a lover boy.
Well, you mentioned that. Are you in a hard cast now?
Yes.
Okay, so now, because you said on your social media you finally got out of the house after like 2 weeks. So, I mean, to
go and get the soft cast off and get the hard cast put on. That was my trip out of the house, the doctor's office, and right back home.
Oh, man. Hey, at least you got out of the house. That was good. So you can see the light, maybe, possibly. But
yes,
the new track, what do we have? Like one more single, and then this is going to be done? Or
no, technically there aren't any more singles to come out.
Okay, so this is it.
What we're doing, yes and no. Like I said, when I had signed on with MTS, I had already released 2 songs, Fire in the Hole and My Kind of Ride. So I released those without them. And they've done okay, actually, for not having any push of a label behind them.
Yeah.
But we know that they can do a whole lot better, especially with how well they've done on their own. So we're going to re-release Fire in the Hole and then re-release my kind of ride.
Okay. So they'll have more life coming soon.
Yes.
Here in the next few weeks, and then we'll start focusing on new stuff.
Yes, I think it's April 16th we're going to re-release Fire in the Hole.
Okay. Because like we said with her acoustic series, she's already got new songs ready to rock. So,
yeah, we're mixing them. A couple of them are finished, actually. We're about halfway through with that.
Yeah. The ISAs, congratulations. You're a nominee for this year's ISAs, USA Female Rising Star, Single of the Year, Songwriter of the Year, Emerging Artist. Are we going in August?
I plan on it, yes.
Nice.
Yes.
Well, you're close to Atlanta. You're closer to Atlanta than I am.
Yes. Atlanta's not too far from here, actually.
Yeah. Go and check it out. ISA's great. Is this your first touch with ISA, with the International Singer-Songwriters Association?
It is.
Yeah,
yes. I'm really excited.
My internet station, cbjradio.com, won a few years ago. Great organization.
Oh, congratulations.
I would go if you can, go. Awesome people. Go and check it out.
I'm really looking forward to it.
So, In Your Smile, we got to let Pam go. Give us a quick shout about the song, Pam.
Yeah, I remember this is one of the new ones.
Yeah.
It is a love song, and I wrote it about a picture that I was just kind of walking through the house, and I just walked by a picture with the very first picture that my wife and I had taken together. And that's what sparked the song.
Romance is in the air. It's In Your Smile by Pam Ross. Pam, happy healing. Thanks so much for coming on.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on, Jeff.
Here it is. In Your Smile is Pam Ross. It's KIX 96.5.